Another key element of being a good pad holder is letting the techniques come to you. Again, I mentioned earlier about reaching too far ahead and doing too much work for your opponent. At the end of the day, when we have the luxury of doing pad work, we get to work a lot of different elements that you might not get to work on the bag. I want to make sure that every punch and kick thrown is the proper punch and kick, and I'm not doing my partner any favors by jamming them. A lot of times when people take a kick that's too hard, they realize, oh, I can jam that kick before it even gets here, and I don't have to take that full impact. But again, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a really bad position, because in a fight you should never be blocking anything going forward, and you should never be jamming your partner's kick, because then they'll never get a full rotation on their kick. Okay, so as a good pad holder, I'm going to stand my position. If I want my partner to always look at my body as a target, not even the pads. If anything, the pads are in the way. So when a kick comes, I tuck in and I try to give my partner the most solid target as possible. This goes the same with hand work as well. So I'm gonna pull out my hand mitts. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. When I'm holding hand mitts, I'm mimicking my target. Okay, so I never want to hold hand mitts like that. I'm sure everyone's worked with someone who does this. No one's head is that big. Okay, I want my hands nice and tight. A good practice to get into is learning not to flash those pads, because I want my students to recognize when there's an opening. So I'll walk around in a neutral position, okay? And when it's time for them to jab, I'll flash them that jab, and that simulates in the ring. You see someone's guard drop, you need to be able to go right into that. But having said that, I don't want to flash a jab here, okay? Because if someone gets a really good punch through, my shoulder is going to be in a lot of pain. Same thing on this side, okay? And again, I don't want to push, I don't want to stop. Okay, you're not going to get a good punch if you're only throwing 1/4 of your length. So I'm telling my partner, this is where my head is, there's your 1-2. I'm going to keep it as tight as possible so it simulates as close to a headshot as possible, because you would never do this. You would get punched and everyone would have a bleeding nose. So always be realistic. Flex into every movement. Don't over push and don't take too much. You want to, almost like you're playing patty cake with your partner.